Women and men often play different roles in a community. Different gender roles mean women and men do different tasks, activities, and chores. These different tasks, activities, and chores are based on gender ideologies, that is, notions or ideas of what women and men should ideally do. These gender based roles are not unchangeable and they do change. More importantly, they are not watertight and set in concrete. Even in one community, the tasks that are performed by women and men may overlap significantly. The point to remember is that gender roles make crucial differences in how women and men are perceived in a community. For example, the status women have when compared to the men in these communities. I am taking you for a walk through a coastal village where the entire community depends heavily on fishing in the sea. The location is in an eastern state of India, and the walk I took was several years ago, as you would see from my appearance. The purpose is to show how women and men do different things and note the fact that these tasks are carried out in different spaces. Robert Chambers, the guru of participatory rural appraisal in applied development, would call this a transect walk. The transect walk is particularly useful on initial entry into the community and when taken in conjunction with one or more community leaders. This high-profile walk helps to dispel the suspicion of outsiders in the community, but also informs researchers of the broad patterns or issues around gender in a community. The village has an unsealed path cutting through it. I approach the village from the land side, walking along with the community leader towards the sea. The video was shot with a handheld camera, so it is quite shaky in places. Please forgive me for that. Still, it brilliantly exemplifies some of the points I noted about gender roles. We meet men sitting on the front yard of their homes, knitting and repairing the fishing nets. One would expect that doing so would be the task of women in the community. Women are known for their nimble fingers, with which they are expected to do the fine tasks such as these, knitting the fishing nets or repairing the fishing nets. So, how do we explain net repairing as men's task? Well, one possible explanation could be that in a fishing household, the net is the primary household asset. It is the primary asset with which the livelihood is carried out. Therefore, it is under the control of men who want to handle it physically, keeping women out of what is generally seen as men's business. Fetching water for the household, on the other hand, is almost always women's task. See the pregnant woman using the hand pump to fill her bucket. The number of children flocking around us is an indication of a number of demographic features. The age profile of the community reveals the high fertility rates, early deaths, and poverty, because each additional child is considered to be an asset for the family, potentially an extra hand for the mother if it is a daughter or the father if it is a boy. The meager possessions of the households, the palm leaf, huts, and the total absence of any public infrastructure and services show the precarious and quite temporary existence that this community lives. The community is significantly large. The fishing boats line the coast as far as the eye can see. Besides the nets, These boats are the most valuable possessions for the community. So, who goes out to the sea in these boats? Who beaches them up when the boats come back after a day's work in the sea? As I watch the returning boat, it becomes apparent that this is a job reserved only for men. It is also a job for which a significant amount of camaraderie and collective effort is required. Interestingly, when it comes to the sales or trading of the day's catch, women join in and may sometimes become the predominant traders of the fish. As if by magic, from children's playground and a space for social activities for the community, the beach turns into a trading place. The walk we took was short, but it did give us an insight into one of the most crucial things that a gender and development practitioner must learn before going to the field, that women and men's roles are different in any community, that they often overlap and reflect deeper gender ideologies that have to do with ownership of livelihood resources. As we end this short walk, the sun sets on the horizon and it begins to get dark. The day's work is over, and women will now begin to cook the meals for the household members. Men will sit around chatting with friends and relatives, drink to wash away the day's labor, and get back home soon.